How did Sherman's neckties devastate the Confederacy? Imagine a battlefield where the enemy's infrastructure is not just damaged but made unusable for years. That's exactly what Union General William Tecumseh Sherman did with his neckties. These were not actual neckties, but twisted railroad rails that he ordered his soldiers to create. Sherman knew railroads were the lifeline of the Confederacy. They moved troops, weapons, and supplies across the South. If these lines were cut, the Confederate armies would be left stranded and unable to fight effectively. During Sherman's campaigns, especially in the Atlanta campaign and his famous March to the Sea, his troops targeted railroads. The process was simple but effective. Soldiers would pile wooden ties into large bonfires, then heat the metal rails until they turned red and soft. Once hot, they would twist the rails around trees or into spirals. These twisted rails, called Sherman's neckties, could not be straightened or reused easily. They were a symbol of total war and destruction. The impact was immediate and lasting. After just a few days near Atlanta, nearly all the rail lines there were unusable. The Confederacy's ability to move reinforcements and supplies was severely hampered. Communication lines also suffered, making coordination difficult for Confederate commanders. This disruption slowed down troop movements and drained resources, weakening their overall war effort. Sherman's orders were clear. His soldiers had to destroy the railroads thoroughly. They would burn ties, twist rails, and hang the bent metal from trees as a warning. This tactic was part of his broader strategy of hard war, which aimed to break the South's economic and military backbone. The damage caused by the neckties delayed Confederate recovery and made it harder for them to rebuild their transportation network. While some rail lines were eventually repaired, the process took time and money. The Union's destruction of the railroads gave them a strategic advantage in the final stages of the war. It was a blow that the Confederacy struggled to recover from, helping to hasten their defeat. Sherman's neckties weren't just a clever trick. They were a powerful tool that crippled the South's ability to continue fighting. So, in simple terms, Sherman's neckties devastated the Confederacy by making its railroads unusable. This cut off vital supply and communication lines, slowed down troop movements, and weakened the Southern war effort. It was a clear example of how Sherman's leadership and his total war strategy aimed to break the South's infrastructure and bring the Civil War to an end.